right, I will have the coin camera up in a moment, then we'll get started. There you go. Not just at the end, but you know, Zach beat you, Casey. I just want you to know. All right. So I do have that going in case there's anything worth looking at under there. And just a heads up, anybody's welcome. Just let me know to drop the link if you want to come on live and chat with me. But yeah, our goal is to get better than 3 pennies worth saving. So let's see if we can do this. Here we go. I'm going to start with the quarters. Because like they say in Texas, bigger is better. I don't know if they say biggest or bigger, but you know, let's do it. And I still haven't gotten a map, but I was looking for it. I was looking at the Rob Finds Treasure ones. I think I'm going to get a couple of those here pretty soon. I also think that any silver we find on this hunt is going to go to the wheel, the November giveaway as well. So let's see how that works out. Let's find a good number of pieces so we can give them away to somebody else. For quarters, Casey? Or for anything in general? I was always going for pre-65 when it comes to the quarters, so if I'm chucking years, let me know. That's another state. It's a state one. State park. State quarter. 1995 for pennies. Anything before 82? Okay, good to know for pennies. 93. What was it that was said about 1992 quarters the last time we did this? That they're worth looking at a little bit deeper, I think, as well. I think Zach shared that piece of information. Nope. $296 is already. I mean, that's pretty interesting. These have really cool designs. You know, I'm not going to say that the national state parks are not cool. I'm just going to say that, you know, I don't have one of those maps, so I don't have a real big interest in them right now. But I think I might have to get one just because I probably could fill one at this point. 96. It's a state park. State quarter. State quarter. See if I can get the... Like, the images on these are really cool. I'm not going to say that they're not. In my opinion, for all of them, to be completely honest with you. Oh, 1989. So far, that's the oldest year that we found in these quarters. Oh, and I just take it back for the 1974. Minnesota. I had a teacher from Minnesota, and I swear to you, she was the most boring person I had ever found. That's what a couple people were saying the last time, Casey, is that there's some specific states, and I have to start writing what everybody says down, but there's some like states that have a lot more errors than others, and that's what you're really looking for. This is actually the quarter that made me realize there was a whole new series here. I'm going to show you the Minnesota one more time, because the detail on these are really cool. The duck, or the mallard, whatever you want to call it. But this is the one that made me realize that there was like a whole new series, and it was the bat. I'd never seen a bat on our quarter before. And when I saw that, I was like, well, Zach, as I said the last time, I ain't no nerd, and I ain't about to start reading no books. But no, I I definitely will be looking into them a lot more. But I just think that's like one of the most happy looking quarters I've ever seen. A couple bats hugging. Hey, Partridge Family Prospecting. You missed the happy bat family. A good number of Indiana quarters in this roll. Oh, 1965. We're 1 year away. I don't know if I have any of these ones. It is some islands, New Marina Islands. It's a D. Take a look at that, y'all. Yeah, New Marina Islands. Well, I guess I ain't going to be no reader because I can't read. It's pretty hard for me. But you all know me. Any currency with a female on it, but she doesn't really look like an old female. She looks like a little kid that's getting to Ellis Island. But at least there's the American flag that you can make out. Yeah, I don't even know where that place would be. Anybody have any ideas? New Marina Island. What state is that in? Who knows? Well, let's line the flag up in there. There we go. Virginia. West Virginia, back to back with Virginia. A state quarter. 1996 sure is dirty, but seems pretty thick. Let's set that aside just for right now. There you go, man. You got to do what you got to do, right? If they're not going to do it to help you, you got to do it to help yourself. Is this the one that is freezing and got water coming in? Texas State Quarter, 1983. I'm going to... Sorry about that. This 96 just looks like it's got a lot of detail, a lot more than the other ones do. It just looks thick. Thick. Your jawline, Mr. Washington. State quarter. 1998. Maybe the 90s were just a little bit thicker than other things were. This one looks pretty thick too. Virgin Islands. Yeah, see, maybe they're not as worn or whatever. Who knows? Well, this one's got that ring of death you guys were telling me about. Another state quarter. Oh, there you go, Partridge Family Prospecting. We'll bring back the family of bats because that's something that we got a lot of. Happy little bat family. Got another one. I know that one she looks a little upset. Not as happy as the other bat quarter, I'll tell you that. And another state quarter. So, from what I can tell, nothing in that roll, unless we dig deeper and find the errors in the years and stuff. But for now, we're going to put them in a pile, with the other ones. And move on to a roll of dimes. I got 3 rolls of dimes this time because I have hope. I have hopes that something better is going to come along. You know what they say, hope in one hand and poop in the other, and tell me which one fills up faster. Maybe that's not the saying. I don't know. But we'll give it a go. The last time we did this, people brought up the coloration differences on dimes. So I've been kind of trying to go slow and see if I see anything white right away, but I don't. So we'll go through them one by one. Which is okay. Let's see. 82 dime, writing it down. Give me one moment. Yeah, I was just saying to Casey that I'm going to have to start writing things down because I have the memory of someone who consumed too many party supplies. Okay. Let's see what we got going on in the dimes. 2019, 2019, 2019, and another 2019. All 2019 Ds for the first 4 that we pull up. Well, let me know if 2019 is a good year of Partridge Family Prospecting because I just got 4 in a row. I'm going to drop the link if anybody wants to join me. Maybe you can bring up some good luck. Oh, 4 in a row? No, 5 in a row. 2019, 2019, 2019. Well, I mean, if anybody is in the market for a 2019 dime, I got your back. Let me know. All of the dimes that I have picked up so far have been 2019. Hey there, man.
What up, brother?
Looking at a bunch of 2019 dimes. What about you?
You think that whole row is 2019?
If it is, I'll be pretty upset. I'm not going to lie, but everyone that I've touched so far has been. So we'll have to see. And there's another 2019. 2019. I don't know how that could even happen. Like that's.
Okay. Couple questions. What kind of bank did you go to? Did you go to a major?
What's that?
Go ahead. Well,
I went to my bank. It was a smaller bank, but they just got, when I first moved to the state, it was a smaller bank and they only had 2 branches. But now they have a national bank. They're like a national bank now, but it's not anything like Wells Fargo or anything like that.
Okay, so it's a smaller bank compared to like the big banks like Chase, Wells Fargo, BofA.
Yeah.
So on and so forth.
They actually have a limit of how many. They're all D's. They only can order.
You're in Colorado? So you're in Colorado, so you're getting all yours from the Denver Mint. The way it kind of works, San Francisco only mints like circulated sets and uncirculated sets and the silver proof. That's it. Okay, that's why the books only label P and D, because S's are all like special mint, a special brand. So since you're in Colorado, you're getting yours straight from Denver. So anything from Denver westward is going to see Denver nickels first. All right. Anything Denver and eastward, they're all going to be, it's going to be a mix between where they're at, Denver and Philly. When I was back in Kentucky, it would be nothing but Philadelphia coins. Nothing.
These are all so far 2019. All of them.
You got an uncirculated bankroll. Those are all bankroll wraps, and so they're probably just getting those in and cycling through the fucking supply that the mint made.
I mean, they are in pretty nice condition. I'm not going to lie about that, but I'm not also.
If you do a dime book, I would say just set one of the best ones aside and plug it in. I've got mine all in almost BU condition for the last one on the dimes. The only ones that I'm missing, the only ones, are 2009.
Really?
Yeah. They're all hard to find. It's all low mint stuff. Compared to normal years, that pennies, nickels, and dimes get minted the most, and they're at hundreds of millions, if not billions. There he is. What's up, brother?
How's it going, brother? And how's it going, Zach? How are you?
Okay.
I'm tired, but I got a lot of work to do. Hold on a second. I'm going to see if you guys can see it. Okay.
So I'm actually not going to complain because. So are you going to like reseal the insulation and stuff? Or are you going to try to fix it up like that?
No, I'm going to walk in a second. I'll tell you. But okay, so you see the window at the very bottom? You see the dark spots on the in between the windows? Yep. That's all rotted.
Yeah.
And it's bad. We had rain, a little drizzle, I guess, today at 5 o'clock in the morning. I didn't hear it. I sleep like a log. I'm dead to the world. A nuke bomb could go. A nuke could go off near the house, and I wouldn't fucking move. I'm actually getting ready to go to the hardware store and get 2 pieces of wood and I'm gonna block the thing off. But it's so bad inside. The wood's rotted inside.
Yeah.
And I've got to get a way to drain it and seal it before mold sets in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then maybe even a dehumidifier, just run it. You know?
Yeah. I had to clear. Oh, dude, this room's big, okay, but I got no ceiling on it, and there's a whole. I'll walk in. I'll walk in a second. I'm gonna have a cigarette first. But I've actually cleaned that room compared to what it was yesterday. I was booking in that room. I still got my stuff to swing over, but I got a vacuum to do so. The landlord had stuff in there, and he ended up just leaving it like spread out in like one layer across half the room floor. I stacked that stuff up, and I cleared that other half. I was like, God, moron, dude.
So does your landlord live with you?
Did you see the door? The door inside on the bottom? That's technically like a basement. This used to be a barn.
Mm-hmm.
And they turned it into a house. His area is all fenced and nice and everything. But I walked into no insulation, no drywall, and a big ass opening across the top of where my roof is. I've literally got floor to the top of the barn.
Wow.
Listen,
it's going to be a tough one to eat.
I'm just glad I got one of those old school like water radiators.
Yeah.
And I keep it close to the bed just to keep my hands warm. As long as the hands are warm and the face is warm, I'll be fine.
Right.
I've got a heated blanket. I've got to do laundry.
I was going to say, you'd almost be better off like putting plastic up as a ceiling almost above you. You know what I mean? To block off the whole top.
Oh, I've thought about getting just some kind of heavy fabric. Technically, I'll get like something real thick.
Put a tent in inside the building, and then have a heater in that. You know, keep your room clean. Keep your room warm. You know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that next week. Payday.
Yeah.
Because getting the wood's gonna be pricey today.
So those 2019s, man, if you have S's, those they can be worth money.
Oh,
but those are not circulated. S's are not circulated. They're like NIFCs. They're usually mint sets.
Oh, the only I was gonna say one's silver and the other one's just
clad.
Yeah.
It's a business strike version. I've actually got a couple state quarters that way. I actually found the Hawaii Volcanoes State National Park quarter.
Yep.
That's a business.
If you have one though that's MS65, 2019 D, that's MS65. That's worth $2.
Really?
And again, that's last year's. This is last year's book. So yeah, if you have, I mean, again, they cost a bunch to, but if you get someone that can grade them without sending them to some of those, you might be able to at least get them in a collection of this is, you have what you consider a whole stack of 65s, and maybe you'll be able to do something.
We still have ANAX. ANAX is still functioning.
Yeah.
I have one. I have a slab of theirs that I got from an auction. It was a nice one. It's my second oldest right now. I'm just got some stuff from Lady Kid Nichols and Clever Coin Man. This past week. Yeah. And can't wait for those to show up.
Yeah, all of the dimes except for one were 2019, and they were in really nice condition and everything, but I mean that's not. Here's the thing: is like I had a goal of like selling searchable party packs, kind of, you know what I mean, of like different rolls together, but so far the way it's going, I'm not going to sell something that I wouldn't want to buy myself. And if there's nothing, if I were to get if I were to pay for a roll of dimes and there'd be a roll of 2019s, I'd be pretty mad. I'll be honest with you.
If they've never been circulated, if you can find the ones that haven't been circulated, theoretically they're worth more than a regular dime. So for somebody who's making books or doing whatever, they might be interested in it for that reason. But
I got one for you guys. I found a 2020 Weir Farms W quarter at a bar in a coin change machine in Louisville, Kentucky.
Nice.
There you go.
I think I've given those. I've been spending those, giving them away. I don't think I haven't even looked at those to keep them yet.
I've got technically 3. One is being held right now with Maximus Silver Stacker. It's the Marsh Billings one, and that's at least 25.
Wow.
I have one. I have the America Samoa back quarter W and the Weir Farms.
Cool. Anytime I won quarters on anybody's thing, I was just like, give it to so and so, because I wasn't really collecting them. And I remember there was a couple of W's and
the best one I've seen someone actually find on a live stream was the Wisconsin low leaf state quarter. It's a $100 bill in low grade.
I had no idea. Any quarters I won on anybody's stream, I gave them right to somebody else on the stream. I just wasn't collecting them, and I didn't realize the value of newer stuff. So I was like, oh, that's so nice. Yeah, give it to so-and-so.
Yeah.
And they were like, wow, partridge. And I'm like, okay.
The people actually that searched the rolls had never found one, okay? And they find one, and it actually goes to one of the members. They were so jealous of her. I mean, and I was like, that's cool to see. I was actually at work when that happened.
Oh. My feet are freezing.
Yeah, I'm headed back in. It's looking cold.
I did open, I should probably shut. Oh, cat's in that window.
All right. That's the neighbors. That's the landlord's doorway. There's my room. All those windows are my room.
Okay, the bedroom's open. Sorry. All of a sudden, New Hampshire just got chilly today.
No, you ain't going out, no husky.
It's nice out, but it's chilly. Like my feet are cold.
Nice try.
You guys are saying 2009 pennies, right?
Oh, I thought you said 2000.
Anything?
Oh, pennies.
2009, yes. Pennies, keys.
Okay, so I just came across the 2009 penny.
Hold on, I'm looking it up. 2000. Sorry, I was still in dimes. 2009. What are we looking at for mint mark?
D.
D.
P or D. Plain day or Philadelphia.
Is that like one of those special backs by any chance? Like
it is.
Okay, hold on.
Sure.
Then hold on. I got one right here. 2009 D. You said?
Yeah.
And it's called Birth and Early Childhood. Let's see here.
That's the
Birth and Early Childhood. If it's
one. That's the one before presidency.
It's the D is worth hold on. The mintage for the D was 784,000. That's it. 784,614. MS65 condition is $10. And that's last year's book, so I'm sure it's more this year.
Well, this is pretty bad condition, but I don't think I've ever seen that background before.
Well, and that's it. There's not that many of them made, really, in the scheme of things.
Yeah, anything 2009.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm wrong. 2009 D. I was looking at the wrong one. Was 350 million.
Well, still 350
Oh, wait a minute.
Million.
The satin finish is 784,000 minted. If it's not satin finish, it's 350.5 million. Sorry.
Yeah, it'll be a semi-key date, when coins.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. What's the back look like?
This guy right here.
I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. Professional Life Reverse.
Yeah, that's when he was a lawyer.
That one is. Sorry about that. That's my bad. I was paying attention to the book, not the screen. 2009D. So on that one, if you have the regular one, it is 336,000. Million minted. They're worth about 30 cents in good shape. And then you have the copper satin finish, and that one is only 784,000, and that one's worth like $10 if it's the copper satin finish. Which that looks copper to me.
Yeah, I mean it's not like the cleanest penny, but that's
but that looks copper.
It don't give us the weight, does it? I was gonna say weigh it. If it's 2.5, it's zinc. Is that toning or is that like a lamination? Nigel.
That's the coin itself. I don't think that's tonnage. I think that's just.
Hey, run your finger across that thing and see if there's like a raised element to it.
Over his face?
No, over Liberty, where that line was at. It looked like it was bubbled up. There was a clash mark, or it could be a lamination issue. But if that field is not flat, if there's like a small little ridge, that's a lamination error.
I'm gonna put this right next to another penny just so you can see the difference. Like that, I think it is. I don't know, but I think it definitely is significantly different than there's that. Then there's that.
Yeah. So okay, go back to the stop there. Now, do you see where the letters E and R are at?
Yeah.
And you see that dark line? Is that line raised off the field where it should be flat?
It is raised.
That's a lamination error. Put that in a flip, dude.
Boo, yeah.
It might be a zinc lamination error, but that's still a lamination error. That is still an error coin.
Awesome. Victory.
All right. Throw me big.
Well, yeah, and thanks to Casey earlier today, I've just been putting all the pre-1982s over there too. So today's already a better day thanks to the pennies. But
yeah, usually dimes and quarter. Dimes are usually the ones that most people don't look for. Now, like I was saying earlier, I actually was on what was it? TikTok. I think it was TikTok, and there was a guy that does coins and talks about coins, and he's got like thousands of followers. He said he found I think it was a 1982 or 1988. I know it was in the 80s, but if they had no P, because I think at the time they were stamping P's on dimes on the front. If there's no P, it's like a $250 dime you could sell online. He talked to a guy who offered it. The guy offered him 90. He said no, and he went up to, I think he sold it for like 160.
That's crazy. I gotta be honest. There's not a penny I'm gonna spend that much on. You know what I mean? Like I'll buy a dime. Well, even so. Even so, my dude, like pennies, dimes, like I don't really know.
It's an error, dude. It's an error. Those are worth some decent change.
Well,
but yeah, there's a few marks on that wear fars, but it's in fairly decent condition. All right, I need to work on this one.
Did you find anything else interesting?
Just a bunch of pre-80s, pre-82s, which I've been saving, and I'll look into those a little bit. But I think that one penny is that 2009 is probably going to be the best one so far. You know, there's been nothing in the quarters, nothing in the nickels. Let's do another roll of dimes just to see if there's something we can look out again. But that first roll was all 2019 Ds with one exception, which is like, yep, there we go. Breaking my heart.
Come on, silver dime. Let's go. Come on, mercury dime.
Well, and that's what I'm like. I'm like, listen, you know, I'm at this point where if I find any silver at all in any of these rolls, it's going to be given away to a member to thank everybody. But geez Louise, you got to find it first, you know?
You got to remember, these guys are going through cases. They're going through, 50 rolls at a time of one particular, set of dimes. And it's like, they might only find a couple in that 50 or 100 or however many in one of those cases.
The most recent person that I heard that got anything decent on dimes was Bionic Bull and Legit for News.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like 6 or 7 months ago, they said.
You know, I mean no disrespect by saying this, but I do not have the patience to
No, me neither.
do like 50 rolls in a time. That's why you see like 2 of each, and I'm like, well, you know, not all my eggs are in one basket, but let's go ahead and see, you know.
Right. Yep.
Uh-huh.
I felt kind of risky putting an extra roll of dimes up here, to be completely honest with you.
I mean, you know, I mean, the thing is you know, if you don't get anything, you bring it back to the bank, you know.
Well, and that's it too. Is like it's not a loss. It's not a loss of money. And with how our nation is doing this weird, you know, we're back to supposedly having a coin shortage right now, and the bank's like, we can only, as a bank, order so many boxes so often. I'm like, well, I thought we were done with all that, and the lady's like, so didn't we? But we were given a limitation on how many boxes of each denomination they can order per week.
So it's not necessarily the bank's fault. It's not the bank's fault that they can't order more, you know, but because they're getting a new rule to play with that they've got to honor, and it's coming from way higher up past their CEOs and shit. You know, that's all government.
Well, and like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not bashing the banks because, you know, they really have done a lot for me. Like, I've got boxes of coins chilling over here, just, you know, just to play with, and they've done me right. You know, my bank's a good bank. They've never done anything to me like I've seen is wrong. But, you know, like you said, when they have rules that they have to follow, you can only do so much.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to
so see, that's the people are not understanding that. You know, they're just like, oh, I want fucking coins, and, you know, give it to me.
Right.
And they don't grasp that concept of, hey, this ain't in our hands now.
In his bank, they're actually saying, you know, why do you keep grabbing coins? We've already taken all the good stuff out.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, and that's kind of where they are too. Is they're like, you do realize what we do here, and that's why the titles to these videos are like, is it even worth it? You know, because I wonder if it is. I wonder if these are even, you know. But then to go and buy a bunch of supposed found these in my grandmother's house rolls that have never been touched, I don't. That to me is kind of like a scam, you know. Like I could say that right now with these rolls, like they've never been touched, and then they'd be 2019s.
Throw those in a different roller and say that they were unsearched, you know, and swindle people.
Yeah,
but that you know, for me, that's where those are the people that you want to get the coins from. Is those people that have actually rolled those coins. I don't care what they've got in. I'll weigh them up and I'll do it all, you know, myself. But those older people, those are the ones that are dumping those in coin stars. And I'm like, oh, so much good stuff.
Well, one of the things I'm thinking about doing is, you know, guaranteeing a few wheat pennies per roll and then selling a few rolls of pennies like that. Mm-hmm. And then but then it's still like, is it worth it? You know, for like, would that be a selling point for people to actually want that? You know what I mean?
Well, if you had like a box of each, and you were gonna do, a kit, you give them the option if they want to like of which denomination.
No, one more time.
I would, if an offer to, if they wanted to search, if they didn't want like the dimes and they wanted to say like more pennies, swap out the dimes for the pennies.
Right.
Instead of doing, because the dimes are going to be the hardest one to get any silver roll really with, especially with bank wrap rolls on a coin shortage.
Hey, Gary's metal
detecting. Well, and that's kind of it. Is like I was thinking, like in my head, it was like, well, if I guarantee somebody, four wheat pennies per roll, then is that something that would even be picked up on? Is that something that people would want versus, not?
Based off most of the streams, people want the quarters, people want the nickels, and people want the pennies. No one's wanting dimes, and because they're so small to search, and then with most of the stuff already been pulled and whatnot, and getting bank wrap rolls, they're all hoping that they don't get any new enders on a bank box. They want to see a circulated box. So I've seen where the bank box was nothing but customer wrap rolls, and they had the best searches. The bank wrap rolls are not really going to produce. I would say take the dimes back and just offer like four rolls of pennies. That
I guarantee, or that are bankrolled.
If both enders are like say newish, like like the 2019 or something else, probably gonna be in like 2019, 2020, 2021. If they both look the same, then it's probably a bank wrap, an uncirculated roll that they just trying to push out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If it was a customer wrap roll, or if the enders showed copper on the ends, then I would say send that in, and give that as part of the thing. Not so much the uncirculated one.
Hey, Gary's, I'm glad you enjoyed doing that, man. That's awesome.
Good morning, brother. Yeah, I've been up since about 6, my time. And I was like, no, I don't want to get out of bed.
Megan and I have we're going to what's it? Apple Orchard in a while.
That's something I miss about the East Coast, dude, is cider. They don't have cider out here.
What was it? That's what I'm saying. What was it?
It was apple cider donuts and apple cider donut sundae.
So apple cider donuts, and we're gonna have an apple cider donut sundae.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, we're pretty excited about that.
My first year here, I flipped out because I went to this pumpkin patch, and they were selling. They supposedly had apple cider, right? Well, before I went there, there was. Oh snap! Before I went there, I went and got some supposed apple cider from Walmart. Well, as I'm looking at the label, it says it's 100% juice concentrate, right?
Yeah.
That's not apple cider.
No.
So I go to this pumpkin patch with my ex-girlfriend, and we see this I was so mad. They had apple cider with their company's the pumpkin patch's label on it, and I'm like, oh, awesome! I'm gonna get me some real apple cider, and it was pretty expensive, And I get it home. I buy 2 gallons of it, and the oh man, this makes me so mad still to this day. The label started to peel, and it was the same exact brand that the Walmart had. And I'm just like, are you Are you kidding me?
Man,
This is
selling.
So they
selling it
just
at
slapped
Express
another
Squeeze.
label over their label.
that's
Wow.
all they did. I was so
man.
mad.
I bet.
Oh, I can't.
I can't even
to
imagine.
This day. I'm so
I-
sorry.
There's an apple orchard just up the road from my house.
But do they make
actually, over by
cider?
my work. Yeah, they actually do it, process everything. They also do alcohol, but yeah. So
Yeah, I can't explain to you how jealous I am of you and both of you right now, but even more Jeremy because he's going to have a full-on cider day, and I'm just like, dang man, you guys don't know how lucky you are. Don't take it for granted because if you come out here,
we love it. We love the fall out here. That's for sure. That's like my favorite time of year.
I agree. People out here are like, oh, the Colorado colors are so amazing. I'm like, you've never been to the East Coast. Like you don't seem to understand.
I will give you that. I will give you that.
Right now, the colors are just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Up north, it's like crazy.
Hey, the colors are freaking awesome. They're on the trees. And you still got leaves in the trees right now, Jeremy?
Some, but you know what I mean. It depends on the type of tree. We've lost a lot of leaves in the last couple of days. But up north, like a lot of it's like peak has gone past certain areas depending on how cold it's gotten up on the mountains. Like you'll see a line on the mountains where it's reached close to frost, and so all the leaves from there are starting to come down. But then below that is all really, red and yellow and orange.
Yeah.
And then around here we've still got some trees are starting to still just barely change, and then we have some trees that are already on the ground, or leaves, I mean. But yeah, it's right in the midst of it. We're right, I'd say smack dab in the middle of it right now, probably. Like, yeah, Megan says we're getting close to the end of peak.
Well, but here's the thing: out here, there's the season is like 2 weeks long at most. It's not like months of color changing because of all the variation of plants and stuff.
Right.
Like you go from like one day of orange from green to orange. There's no shades of red. There's no shades of yellow. It's not the same. And another thing,
it almost looks like fire.
Yeah. I miss that so much. Another thing out here is, I don't know if it's the same for you where you are, but where I grew up in, there was berry picking. There was like, you could go to orchards and vineyards and stuff and pick your own berries and stuff and pick your own grapes. They don't have that out here. They don't have that at all. And it's
you're up at least almost a mile, depending on where you're at.
Yeah. And, if you do find a place, because I did find one place that you could pick your own berries and stuff. It was so expensive. It was beyond like even worth doing it. I remember as a kid going to Watkins Glen. I don't know if you guys know where that is. And filling a van full of grapes for like $20. You'd go, you'd bring your own tubs, you'd weigh the tub, and then you'd weigh and like pay like 50 cents for 5 pounds essentially of grapes.
Yeah, around here, in a bag of apples. What would you say the bag of apples when we not usually go, but when it's like $20, right? It's like $20 for a bag of apples, and if you pick your own. And it literally takes you about 6 minutes because the bags are not that big, man. Like, where's my hand? Probably like, you might fit maybe 20 apples in? Maybe 20 apples in.
That's crazy.
So it's gotten way expensive.
We used to
spend a day. Yeah, we used to spend a day there with my parents with bushels. Like we'd come out with big bushels. They'd give you carts to pull it on. You'd fill that bushel up, and then you'd bring it home. They'd throw it into bags and send it home with you for. We didn't have much money, so it was cheap, And now it's like it is way expensive, But we're not. We might grab some apples, but it's more of we're going there for a afternoon donut treat. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie about it. I'm not gonna try to lie about it. We're going there for an afternoon donut treat, and it really comes down to that.
At least you have the opportunity to do so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, I mean, no joke. I definitely don't take it for granted. I love it. It's like syrup. You know, I don't know what you guys have for syrup, but I know here in New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, the syrup is just killer good. And I can't use like a store bought syrup. I just can't make myself do it. I have to use something that came out of actual trees. You know.
Well, honestly, for me, the one thing I can give Colorado is they have the best beef I've ever ate, like in my entire life. You know, I'm coming from a dairy part of the country, you know, where your cows are used for dairy.
Hey, Donna Helton, how's it going? How you feeling?
Like, it's the beef out here is just phenomenal, and I'll give it that to them. But everything else is second class, you know.
I see. I've never been to Colorado, so I can't even say, "Oh yeah, that used to be great." I wish I could. I haven't been out there. I'm gonna have to. We'll have to get out there someday. There's a lot in Colorado I'd love to see.
And you know, there's things to see. Don't get me wrong. Or if you're someone who likes to ski and stuff, there's stuff for you. But for me, I'm like, yo, let me get some cheese. Oh, you want sharp cheddar cheese? Here's a quarter of an ounce for like $20. And I was explaining that to my mom. I'm like, Mom, if you want to give me anything for Christmas, go ahead and start sending me some New York style sharp cheddar cheese. And she's like, oh, it's not that bad. I sent her a picture of the cheese that I can get. Yeah. You have to go and get artisan style cheese. It's labeled as extra sharp, and it's like a mild sharp to what I'm used to. And I'm like, Mom,
brother, you let me know about cheese. I'll send you cheese. We'll send you some cheese. Man, I haven't smoked any lately, but it's cold enough now that I can start smoking it. So I'll don't worry about. I'm gonna hook you up with some cheese. We're gonna have a package coming your way soon.
I'll start saving a bank account for you to just get back into the cheese, because like your
I know
cheese,
it's not
I
cheap.
kid you
it's
not.
definitely not cheap.
Me and Caitlin, we rationed that out. We got into arguments over your cheese, dude. We're like, she got mad at me. She's like, you know what? You can't just hoard it for yourself. I'm like, what else do I have for me? You have a dog. She's like, you have Nigel. I'm like, yes, but he bites on the cheese. Nigel was trying to get to your cheese, dude.
Yeah, I bet. Our animals love it, you know.
Well, we're all here for you, Don. We really are.
So that's what you want. You want cheddar. You're not into the other flavors as much. You really just want a lot of sharp, or you want you tell me what you want, and I'll make sure it gets to you.
I love cheese. Like, even your what was your spicy cheese? You sent jalapeno and pepper jack. And
there was a pepper jack, and then the other one was a habanero. That was a habanero sharp cheddar, is what that was.
Oh wow.
I even liked that, but that was definitely all for Caitlin, because, you know, me and Spice, my butthole puckers.
So I'll keep it a little less spicy.
I'll be listening.
Right. We'll catch you soon.
Hey, man, get your work done. We're here for you too, man. Yeah, no,
I love sweet corn.
I'm gonna give you a monthly salary for cheese, dude, because like your stuff was no joke. It made me so happy, and it really was. It was like a taste of back on the East Coast, because it's like, dang, man, they do not know cheese out here at all, and it hurts.
I've heard that it hurts.
It's like, I feel like I want to say, hey, you guys, there's more to life than skiing and eating healthy. You can go ahead and get some cheese. You can have a nice cobbler that's not from Walmart. You know?
We just made some of that too. Apple stuff cobbler there, not apple cobbler, apple crisp.
See, crisp too. Crisp is awesome too, but you know, you can't afford to make it when you're buying all your stuff from Walmart, because there's no orchards or anything.
No, you got to go fresh. Like, that's we believe in, if we can get it fresh, we're gonna like our corn. We don't buy it from the store. We go to the farmers thing. It's not a farmers market really, but it's a farm stand, and we get all our corn from there. We love it. And our cheese, though, there's nothing like apple crisp or apple pie, man, with sharp cheddar cheese. Same bite. You got to mix it.
Yep.
I'm telling you right now. Now that is a New York, Vermont thing, I think. I don't know. I talk to people all over the country who are like, mix what? You put
Yep.
cheese in your what? We actually baked one, so the cheese was all throughout it. Oh my God, man! Oh, my mouth's watering just thinking about it. Yeah, it was damn good.
As long as you're not putting like sliced American cheese on top of it, I'm against that. But
yeah,
like,
we don't believe in American cheese here. American everything else, but American cheese is just gross.
Yep, because it's not cheese. You know what I mean? I was actually looking at that because I was trying to understand. What I got this spray cheese for some reason. I have no idea what possessed me to get it, but cheese in a can.
Yeah, the squirt kind.
Yeah. And so I get that, and I'm looking at it. It's like American flavor. I start Googling what is American flavored cheese, and it's like essentially it's just a mix of whatever garbage cheese wasn't used. And I'm like, dang, man.
Well, and the thing is American cheese. You can get aged American cheese, which I have to say is a little better, but American stuff, from the old school stuff, they some people made stuff and they'd let it age for months, years. American stuff, we had to, when it first started, everybody was like trying to make stuff quickly, I think, and so everything became about. It's sad that that's what they put their name on it for American cheese, I think, but American cheese to me is like if I was going to call my cheese American cheese, it would be more cheddar. I think cheddar's American all the way, and it's okay on burgers to have the other stuff, but I don't know, the flavor of it is just like a processed. It has no good. It's like eating mayonnaise to me. I don't like mayonnaise either. That's what American cheese reminds me of. It's just like eating a slab of mayonnaise, and I just don't like it at all. But I love every other kind of cheese, though. I mean, there's really not much cheese I don't like. I love if I have a little extra. Well, now we put it. A little extra goes towards a donation or goes towards whatever, but we used to put that towards cheese. And when I did that, I'd go to like private stock, get private stock stuff, get stuff that was like aged for a couple of years, and you eat it with crackers, and it makes your face like does this thing with your cheeks. And oh my God, we have a store called the Vermont Country Store. Is that what it is? Vermont Country Store, and it's right on the other side of the border. And I am telling you, they let you sample their cheese. You can walk through. I made the mistake of trying to do it all in one night. That was not a good idea. I mean, there must have literally been 200 cheeses easily.
Oh yeah.
At least 200 cheeses, and they have little toothpicks, and you could go. I ate every single one of them, and by the time I got to like some of the, it was fresh cheese. It hadn't been pasteurized or anything. By the time I got to that, I could not only taste grass, but almost like other elements, and I was almost cheesed out for the first time in my life.
Oh wow!
Have you ever eaten fudge made with cheese? You mean like cream cheese? If it's cream cheese, yes. If you're talking like a sharp cheese, oh my God, I'd about die for that, Donna. That sounds really good.
Have you
eaten fudge with the cheese made with cheese?
Never heard.
My grandma, like my stepdad's mother, made cheese fudge, and I don't know what type of cheese she put in it, but the texture was just silk. The texture was amazing. It wasn't like the hard fudge you're used to.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I've never heard of that. And I am a cheeseaholic, so. I've heard of cream cheese, like mixing cream cheese in with stuff, like that. We do like Oreo balls and different things with cream cheese but I've never actually made. Megan's a fudge maker. She loves making fudge, but you've never done it with like cheese, right?
No.
I'm waiting for Donna to fill us in with the details here. What type of cheese is it? If it's cream cheese, yes. If it's not cream cheese, then holy crap, you just blew my mind.
Well, we wait for Donna. Well, the next time you come across a farm stand that has the type of corn called bodacious. I don't know if you've ever had that type.
Bodacious corn? Have you ever heard of that?
No.
I haven't heard of that.
If you ever see it, it's not a joke. It's not a scam. That is some of the best corn I've ever had in my life. And I don't know if it came from just this farm on the way to even further upstate New York than I'm from. But I was on the way up to this religious retreat actually, and we stopped to get corn, and we were joking like, "Oh, bodacious corn, da 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 da." Man, when we got done with it, oh, it was so good. I couldn't stop eating that corn. Like the food, everything else was good, but that corn was amazing.
Wow. We get sweet corn here from like the farms and stuff, but I don't know that I've seen a name on it.
Hey, thanks for stopping by, Gary. You have a great day. And I mean, if we find anything, I'll do a follow-up video just so you know that we're no longer in the same club of not finding silver, but I doubt that's going to happen.
Thanks, Gary's. We appreciate you, and I'm glad you had fun with that bag of pay dirt, man. Definitely. Thanks for donating.
Second for the region, just saying.
She was second for the region, just so you guys know. She came in second for Western Mass and New Hampshire.
That is awesome.
Yep.
That is great news.
What
was the other person doing? Prostitution?
It was 3,785.
3,785 is what she got raised total by the time she was done.
As a team.
As a team, you know.
But my own personal was 1,600.
Velveeta, really? See, I'm not a big Velveeta fan, but I'm wondering how that would possibly go in fudge. Oh my gosh, I'm like completely like
confused.
Yeah, my brain just got confused. I can see where it'd make it creamy, but I can't imagine.
A nice snap, you know.
See, now to me, Velveeta is like American cheese. Like it's a little different, but it's almost like the squeezed cheese or the. So for me, it depends on what I'm eating it with. But now that you've said that, it definitely is going to make us. We might have to try it just to see how it comes out, because I've never heard of that. You would love it. We'll definitely have to try it. She said we'd love it.
Megan's like, I make fudge all the time. We will see.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, thank God she doesn't make it all the time, but I'd be so. Yeah, I was gonna say she's baked so much in the last couple of weeks. I can't even tell you, cakes and pies and.
Dude, you've been telling me, and I'm telling you, be careful, because I'm going to move in with you.
He says, you've been telling me, be careful. I'm moving in with you.
You'll be about 400 pounds in no time.
Yeah, she's like, you'll be about 400 pounds in no time.
Well, honestly, it would only take a week if by the way you're talking.
Because you're going to try to eat it all at once. He's like, it'll only take about a week. He goes, if it's as good as you're talking.
Well, the pies were a winner for the wedding.
It tastes like fudge bomb or boom.
I think she's correct me if I'm wrong, Donnie. You're saying you don't even taste the cheese so much as it just changes the texture.
I can't imagine that you wouldn't taste that, but I guess you're right. It doesn't have a strong flavor. So if the chocolate is dark enough, or is it for a certain kind of fudge? Like what's the flavor of fudge that it goes in?
Dude, I'll find you a recipe. I'll find you a Velveeta cheese recipe. Unless Donna has a family recipe she wants to drop on YouTube right now.
Right. Exactly. We're never against family recipes. Megan keeps all hers in her head. I'm like, what happens if you forget an ingredient or you vote? She's like, I remember it. Yes, it doesn't taste like cheese. Okay. We're both sitting here confused.
Have you ever heard of velveting meat? Have you ever done that? Velveting
meat? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Velveting meat. I don't know that I've heard it in that term.
It's like it's supposedly, this is how I like came across it. It's supposedly what Chinese restaurants and stuff do to make their meat so tender and juicy when they fry it. Well, that's what I did the other night when I was telling you I had some beef that it was going to keep me up.
Yep.
I just poured a bunch of baking soda on it, and then you rinse it off, which you know, you think about it, what's the most anti-American thing to do to a steak is to cut it up, pour baking soda on it, and then rinse it off. Rinse off the hunks of meat before marinating them. Dude, it was so good.
So hold on, so baking soda or baking powder?
Baking soda. The baking soda like seeps into the meat. And it just makes it tender and like opens all the pores and everything. Oh,
baking soda opens the pores in steak when you're making steak.
Tenderize it.
Yeah, it's called velveting, but tenderizing it basically. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have some chicken right now because, you know, as I said to you before, I'm like, oh, I'm going to try to go meatless. So it's like an alcoholic trying to stop drinking. It's just like, oh, I'm going meatless. Give me all the meat. Give me all the meat.
Yeah. That's the only problem is then you go like 3-4 days without any meat, 5 days without any meat, maybe even a week. By the 7th day, now you're going to have 4 steaks, some pork. You're going to have some chicken. You're going to end up loading that. You know, you're going to eat so much that you might as well have just eaten a little bit every day.
Well, that's pretty much it. It's like I'm not going to say I sat there and ate 2 pounds of beef in less than 3 days, but yeah, it was rough. It was rough.
We had some steak the other day for the first time, and God, we haven't had steak very often, and my stomach is kind of weird with steak, and it's awful to say that because I've never been that way, but I just process it differently, and so we don't have it all that often. We have a lot of, we have hamburger, we have pork, we have a lot of chicken, and this steak though she made this steak that was like a Montreal steak, a lot of pepper, a lot of, and it came out. Oh my God, it was like butter. I mean, literally fried in butter, like on both sides real quick. We usually do this all outside, but I kind of almost forgot how good it was to be cooked in a pan, really hot pan with butter, So it was, oh God, it was good. Have you eaten goat cheese? Oh yes. I love goat cheese. I love all cheese, really, other than like the American stuff. I wouldn't eat you wouldn't catch me ever cutting off a slice of Velveeta and just eating it by itself. But goat cheese, I love. The stinkier the cheese, the more I like it for some reason. I don't know. I love that. I love feta. I love, but goat cheese, I've had it with everything from fruits to.
As long as you don't put too much like that one time.
What? Oh yeah. So first, that was like one of our first big experiences. Yeah, we made our own pizza with goat cheese and decided. I didn't realize you didn't need to use a ton. So I took I don't know what it was, 2 or 3 tubes. It was like a tube of it, like a big, and I took that, sliced that sucker open and put it all over the pizza, and it was a lot. And that was it was good, but it was very pungent.
Didn't
it was
you
almost
make
a little
video
too much.
About something with goat cheese?
I don't remember. I know we did a pizza. We've done pizzas on videos where we smoked them and stuff, and you can see the cheese bubbling and all that.
That's what I'm thinking.
There probably was goat cheese on there. It could have been goat cheese on there. I think we had already learned at that point not to. The one we made was it was like a white pizza with goat cheese with it, so there was no flavor balance. It was too much. It just was too much. We both started eating and we were like, holy. Yeah, she's like, I felt like she shoved a shoe in my face, she says.
Oh wow.
But it was good, but it was very pungent, but I find that goat cheese, I love mixing it with other cheeses or a little bit of goat cheese with something else. The other one that's like that for me is brie. I've never been one for brie, but my mom made one with, it was apricot or whatever. I guess it was apricot, and she does it so she baked it, and so the outside is all almost has this layer to it, and then when you cut into it, it's all oozy. Oh my God, man! But the fruit balanced it off. The fruit was just, and of course, brie is very mild also, but it was so good, man.
Well, when I lived in a place where there was an Aldi's, because we don't have Aldi's out here either.
We have Aldi's here, yeah.
Yeah, they have some of the best selection of cheeses and chocolates you're going to find in one place for a decent price,
Really?
So I get because for a chain store, they're German. So go there and really take a look at their cheese selection.
Yeah, I will.
And their cheap chocolate, so much better, dude. So much better. It's so good.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll have to check that out.
Oh man. Well, I mean, I got a good pile of pennies to look at a little bit more, but this has been another. I don't think I'm gonna do what I thought I was gonna do with bundling up some unsearched rolls because it just doesn't seem very fair.
Yeah, it's tough. You know what I mean? I guess if you were to take a certain amount of wheats and always put a certain amount of wheats and always a certain amount of whatever's in there, maybe it would make it worth doing it if they knew they were going to end up with a certain amount. But otherwise, it's a tough one because unless they're looking for a certain year, you could do it, but it's just not worth as much.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. And I just, I think I might have to stick to that one thing we were talking about with putting a little bit of gold and silver in a roll, and taping it up and having that really be the
crazy.
prize.
That sounds when you said that, I was like, holy smokes. What would be really neat with that too, and I don't know if you can figure out the measurements on it to figure out exactly what size it would have to be, but if you could get a little container to go in there so you almost couldn't tell the difference between what had what in it, it really would be like, well, I suppose as long as you have them up and you're picking rolls.
What I was thinking about doing is like covering each roll with a lot of electrical tape.
Yep.
So then they're like, and I'm never gonna like load something up for one person or the other, but I was thinking about like putting the rolls in there, putting a small little, those little bags that I have that aren't worth anything, and then wrapping that gold in there. That's what I'm thinking, Casey, is having like 2 little contests with some gold flakes and some silver shot and in the roll of a coin and guaranteeing some wheats in each roll, but then the winner actually walks away like the ultimate prize would be a roll of pennies with some gold in it. I don't know. Would you that be something that in a perfect day when you had some money to throw away, you'd be interested in? Let me know, because that's what I'm thinking about doing, but I don't know. I would hate for like 4 or 5 people to be like, yeah, that's an awesome idea, and then the last roll be the one that's like the ultimate winning roll. You know what I mean?
You could, yeah.
But I think if I were to put like a quarter of a gram of gold and then sell each roll for like $7-8, that might be worth it. Because then where else are you going to get like a quarter of a gram of gold for $8? You know what I mean?
It's kind of like the buying the chances. The difference is basically you're guaranteed a few wheat pennies out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
It sounds like a cool concept.
A bird in the hand, you know what I mean?
I don't know what a thing of pennies goes for if it has a few wheats in it. Like, I'm not sure what that price would normally be if there was no gold or no silver. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what that would be. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what a roll of pennies goes for. So it would be gold fines, like in pay dirt.
Yeah, exactly. Combining pay dirt for people who don't have pans, and for combining coin roll hunting with gold. Well, I think right now all my gold that's not in somebody else's pay dirt or something is all 8 mesh. So it'd be pretty chunky gold, But
right.
That's kind of exactly the concept, Casey, is pay dirt but in coins without having to use a pan.
Yeah, without the dirt, basically.
Yeah. But then again, I like to make sure people know what they're going to get, so it would have to be, I don't know.
I think you're this close to figuring out the concept and perfecting it so that you'll be happy with it. Because I think you always question, you want to make sure it's fair for everybody. Everybody's getting a decent deal, and yet the prize is fun at the end too. And so, that's awesome that you take the time to do that. And I think you're so close. Like you're this close to making it fly with it being good in so many ways. You know, like right now it sounds pretty awesome. You would have to be careful when you open the roll so you don't lose the gold in the carpet. Well, it would have to be in something.
Yeah, I'd put it in one of these little. I have these little bags. Well, whatever. I can't find it right now. But I have these little bags that. Yeah, I mean it's right there. I know it's right there. It's just whatever. But I would just because a lot of the people who won silver and gold, what I ended up doing was putting their vials in the same package and their gold and stuff in these little small bags and taping it up. So in case the vial broke, they wouldn't have to, have a mess essentially.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Gary won gold recently, actually. And I know a few other people from your donation thing. So that's how I ended up trying to make sure nobody had broken glass that they had to clean up, And even if they did, it wouldn't have really affected their medals at all.
I can't wait to open Casey's package. It's like driving me crazy.
Donna, when I get it figured out, we'll figure. I'll do something like that. I'll talk to Jeremy because where I'm at, I can't do the whole spot thing. But
yeah, we can definitely figure something out for that. We are in the process of figuring that out for not just the coins, but also pay dirt as well. That's going to be kind of a collaboration. Sorry, between. Might be a collaboration. We'll see. No, I'm joking. Between Nigel's guy and I, and we're going to be doing. We're just trying to figure out the details on how we want to do it. But basically, you're going to be buying spots for a chance at pay dirt, and we might even have pay dirt that we can do it a couple different ways. I mean, that we could auction. So we did really good. It was a cool auction the other day. It was for a cause, but we could do the same type of thing towards the channel and to put it back into the to get more gold. But there's a few ways of doing it. There's spots, there's the auction thing, there's even bin prices if we decide to do that. But then there's also, I like this coin idea just because the chance of it and the getting excited about possibilities. So we're trying to think of a way to do the pay dirt the same way. Like, so you have a chance at like 3 bags of pay dirt. Like, here, we'll do a wheel or whatever, and we'll do 3 bags of pay dirt on there, 3 different amounts. You buy a spot for whatever the amount is, and then at that point you have a chance at 3. So we're either doing that or we're just going to make them all. I'm not sure if we're going to do that or make them all the same. We're just kind of figuring that all out in the details. But we're going to be actually announcing all that really soon because we have a big. We actually just hit, I don't know if you guys know, we just hit 500 subs literally yesterday. Yeah. So we're going to be doing kind of a 500 sub thing. We just haven't announced it because we have to figure out when Megan and I are both able to do it. But also a mail call and a few different things are going to happen between then. But we decided, what the heck, let's try to do something with that. And that's, I think, would be a great time to probably launch the pay dirt things that I was just waiting for stickers, and I'm still waiting for stickers, but I might just figure something else out. And if nothing else, the pay dirt can be made. I have everything to do it. So I may just do it and mark them and draw a cool picture on the front. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, and that's what I was thinking is like, I was thinking, because you said that earlier, I was thinking that I was looking up label makers to see if you could, with a label maker, just print out stickers and stuff, but I don't think that works the way I was hoping it would. I'm a very confused individual. I don't know if you really know this.
Yeah. Are you?
Yeah, I'm pretty confused. Did you see what Casey said?
Yeah, I'm surprised you're still waiting, PFP. I know, this is totally me. I should have been on this a long time ago. What do you say?
No, not for the dirt, for his package. Well, you laid down the law, dude.
Yeah, well, you did. Right on the package, it says do not open till Halloween, and I said, you know what? Okay, and it's been sitting on my desk. I can go show it to you. Literally, actually, well, she's laying down. I literally have this thing. It hasn't been moved. It's in the same box, still taped, still everything. I saw the do not open till Halloween, and I went, oh, you got to be kidding me. And I assumed that you took the frog and looked at it and went, that's gross. Put it back in the package, retaped it and sent it back. So if it's something different than that, you're right. I'm totally going to be surprised. In my head, I've been thinking I'm going to open this thing and it's going to be the frog with a note going, you're ridiculous. Get that thing away from me, whatever. Donna Helton says, congrats, boom. What are we talking about?
Your 500 subs.
Oh, thank you, Donna Helton. I appreciate that. It was kind of a surprise, honestly. I try not to look at numbers all that much because to me it's more about just being with the people. We've been lax lately. It's been ridiculous, but we really need to get back into it. And I've got a few things lined up. And then, of course, with Nigel's help, we got a few things going on that's going to be a lot of fun. And Nigel's always welcome anytime he wants to do any of these fun little ideas you guys hear about on Nigel's channel. If there's stuff like that, you guys are all interested in doing and he's prepped to do it and ready to do it, we can always do it on my channel. I got no problem with that, and then ship it from wherever. It doesn't matter to me. So, you know what I mean? We can run anything. New Hampshire's good like that. We've got, we have good laws when it comes to those type of things. So
you have like no laws in your state.
That's what I mean. When it comes to that.
West.
I think as long as you declare or not declare, but you say that it's not part of YouTube and it's not, this is literally a way to pay back our people and these are donations coming, it basically goes back into allowing us to keep on doing these things. Like some of you guys may not have seen like what we did on the on our little auction and wheel, but it was a lot of fun and people walked away with not a lot of cool things, but we started with a small thing, but had a lot of fun and it all went towards a certain cause. In this case, though, in order to keep doing these things, I know myself, I can't constantly pull out of the small little, I call it my stack. It's all in a box about this big. So it's not much of a stack, but I can't pull from that because the only things I have in there are things I've either been given from somebody and I keep them and the things that I win, I won the other day a silver round from over at Jeff Crumpler's. You know what I mean? I got it and I got that's going into the giveaway. You know what I mean? Like, because it's not something I was collecting because I was like, ooh, I really want that. The things that I have, I do. And so this is a way to make it so that we can turn right around, pick up, get more of that and make it happen again and make it so everybody gets a chance to have these things. People are loving the pay dirt. I don't know if you saw Skippy's video, any of you guys, but Skippy the Townie did a video on our pay dirt. And that was from the that same donation auction thing and wheel. And actually Gary's is the one who won it on the wheel, and he said he loved it, and then Skippy's did it and just absolutely loved it. So we're going to be doing that same pay dirt. All of those items that are in the pay dirt, as far as the pink sands, the black sands, the regular dirt, all comes from our rivers right up here, and it separates on our sluice box, so we can literally take it and I separate it right down by pan until it's all, and then we build them all the same. I can build them. This is the cool thing I thought, by doing it this way, I can build it for a beginner who says, I just want, I don't want to have a lot of black sands and have it hard to find the gold. You know what I mean? I can put lights in there and make it so that gold is really easily found. It won't, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or we can do it right down to I'm going to throw that thing with a ton of black sands, mostly magnetics, but not all, that are going to be so heavy it's going to take you, Skippy, who's a very good panner, it took him, I don't know, close to 30 minutes to do it, and even then I bet if he goes back he'll find more specs. We kind of do that on purpose. We put a few good chunks in there and then a lot of small New Hampshire stuff that's really, you got to look for it. But it'll be fun, man. I can't wait, and I appreciate you, Nigel, for doing that.
Does Donna have a bag of pay dirt coming her way from you by chance?
Gosh, I don't think so. Is my name on one of those bags of pay dirt? Oh, well, it can be, Donna. We have to make them up. I don't have any bags kicking around. Like, I have bags, but what I'm saying is we literally have to make them up. Maybe that should be our next video again. Is last time we did a video for making one for a donation, but maybe we'll do a video of making some bags up of our. I was hoping for stickers, to be honest. I was hoping for these stickers that I had a picture of, and I just needed a print of it printed, but our printer's screwed up and I just haven't been able to get the other ones done yet. But either way, I could at least make the bags, and who cares? Maybe there isn't a nice sticker on the first batch or something, you know what I mean? But we could certainly do it and do a wheel, and people would win right away. I mean, it'd be fun.
Tell them, be like, it's the limited time, no sticker, limited edition, no sticker badge, you know?
She said no, but yes, there's a name on one of those for you, I'm sure. Absolutely.
Well, Donna, here's where I stand is every time you win something off my channel, you give it to somebody else. So no, but my heart is broken. You know, I don't know how badly you want these prizes, Donna.
Yeah. She's so generous, you know. It's crazy. Do you pan, Donna? Or is it something you're interested in doing? The only reason I ask is, you know, Amanda C., she won our big bag. That was the biggest one I had made. That was, gosh, it was over 3/4 of a gram. And there was silver and coins. And oh my gosh, that was like an explosion in that bag. That one, she won, and she doesn't pan. She said she picked all the big pieces out. and at that point, she's waiting to do the rest. Contact Deadpool. Dreadpool, yes. You know what? I should have done that probably because I was thinking I'd get it done by now on my own, and it just didn't happen. In my head, I was going to do this for next to nothing, just for a few bags, and I can see there's interest, so that's good. Maybe we'll make it a few bags, and we'll see how it goes, and if it goes well, we'll keep on just making it happen and over. That'd be fun.
Well, let's plan on getting a few.
I can't see good.
I'll send you some rolls too. We'll do spots for bags and spots for rolls.
Yeah, and you know what we can do with the pay dirt too, Donna? Here's the other thing. If you win a pay dirt, and it's, let's call it, I don't know what word they're going to be. Let's say you win a 0.3 pay dirt, okay? Or a 1/4 gram of pay dirt, or whatever, you know, of a bag of pay dirt, but with 1/4 gram of gold in it and however much silver. And we do that. If you win it, you don't have to get a bag of pay dirt. I can take that bag of pay dirt. It can go into the next week's thing, and we can weigh out that same amount of gold and same amount of silver, put it in a little vial or 2 little vials, and send that to you instead of giving you the pay dirt. When I say we're going to raffle off or do whatever, however we're going to do it, the pay dirt bags like that, it's amounts. I'll have them written on there. Everything will get weighed. Every time I make stuff, I always make a video of me weighing it so we know exactly how much is going in it. And so I'll do it in batches, and we'll literally weigh everything out at once. If you ever have a question of, or you win and you're like, oh, you know, I just want a 1/4 gram of pay dirt, woohoo, but I don't want to do the pay dirt. Anybody can do this, really, theoretically. Just let me know when that happens, and if that happens, then I'll send you the stuff without having pay dirt. Just the gold itself, if you want it for yourself, or you may want it for giveaways. And then, so it's up to you. Anybody can specify with me completely how you want it made, how you want it made, how you want it, how you want to receive it. It doesn't matter to me whether it has dirt in it or not.
And you know, same goes for over here too. Like if you were to win something off me and you're like, oh my gosh, that's too political, or oh my gosh, I have no interest in that, and you know, you want something else, or you just want to hold off, or you just want the value of that, let me know, because that's not an unreasonable request for me.
Right.
Well, I was we thinking do things that legit, but you know, I wasn't gonna call you out.
Hey, legit, how's it going? Well, and we do things like when it comes to some of the political things, it's you know, it's to, like, for me, you know, we gave away a Trump round, right? On our thing. Now, it was, somebody got it, whoever got it, great, they were super stoked with it or whatever. But to me, it wasn't a political statement by me putting it in there. It's because I knew someone would like it. You know what I mean?
I'm right there with you. Like if you see something, for me, it's no reflection on my beliefs or like stance in the political world. You know what I mean?
I try not to be political when it comes to any of these things. Just because I like the people that I'm dealing with, regardless of who they voted for. To me, I'm enjoying people, and that's the way it is. I just love to give away, but with this, I will keep it. Okay, well, there you go, Donna. See, now if you keep it, then we can send it to you however you want, for sure, and however you want. You'll be able to choose that all out when the day comes, for sure. And you know what? It's funny because now that Nigel got me, that's probably why he's been pushing. He's nicely saying, "Get on it." No.
Well, no, I'm over here thinking now Donna's lit the fire under our bums, and I have to
I feel like that.
something so we can get going, you know.
Well, and I've got and you don't even have to worry about hurrying up on anything if you're talking about the silver stuff. I've got enough to start that process for sure, and I've got because I had some of that a while back. Somebody sent me some. So I've got some of that to start it. I've got the gold to start it. I've got the dirt to start it. I've got the bags. I've got the heat sealer, and I've got a permanent marker. I just don't have the sticker, but we can always add that afterwards. But like I said, you've always seen it. I do all my weighing on video so that so people can see what they're about to win.
Is that why you gave it to Zach, Donna? You were like, no, I don't want this, but you give me a Biden copper round, I'll take that.
Donna said if she wins the pay dirt, she wants to make sure that you send her both the copies of the copper and the silver round of Trump.
Oh, is that? I missed that message. Yeah, I missed that one. Well, Donna, they have a gold Trump round too. That's pretty expensive, but just for you, maybe I'll pick up a third job.
Yeah. I like the different. You know what I've seen a lot of, not a lot of, but a few of lately. Man, is the Asante. I'm saying that wrong. Asahi.
Hey man, I know what you're talking about. Are they have another one out?
No. Same one that I got from you. I got one from you, and the night you said you can do this, blah blah blah, do the auction, make it happen, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Not blah blah blah. It was an awesome speech. It was really amazing, and it made us do awesome. That silver round I've now seen in about 4 different channels.
Really?
That one's starting to catch on. People are liking that. I think the backs of those are really pretty. I know it's simple, but if you had a bunch of those stacked up, if you think of the mirror on that, they're nice. I don't know, and even just stacking them literally, physically, I don't know. They're clean coins. I like them, and I'm starting to see them around.
Their price has already gone up like $6 or $7 from when I bought them.
I bet. I know it's like generic or something, but it's not. Or maybe it's not generic. I don't know what it is, but the mirror on those are awesome.
Well, that's the refining company that has those. But you know what else? I felt bad because I showed Zach.
We were joking, Donna. We're joking totally. I will trade a Biden round.
Lunar Ox.
Do they even make them for a Trump round? They actually probably do make Biden rounds. I'm sure. Just someone's got to make them somewhere. But
yeah, I've seen Biden copper rounds.
I'm not saying. Just so that you know, Casey and Donna, I'm not going to put any unless we're in the middle of a 3 a.m. political thing going on. I don't ever bring in politics, so I'm not pushing for either side right now at all. But it's stuff that we offered because it was, or he offered. I shouldn't say we. I don't know why I'm saying we. I got a gift from him and then ended up putting that towards a good cause is what happened for me. But
the reason I got so many Trump rounds was because one of the lives, there was that Trump bill. Man, the fire. It went crazy. And I'm sitting here like, oh, wow. Now I know what I need to. And since I bought those, a couple of people have bought both copper and I think Casey actually bought a silver one off me. Either he bought a silver or he bought a
good
copper.
Prints. They're good prints.
It's
they
an
really
awesome
are.
looking round, but it's just like I want to make the statement. It's not even a political thing.
Yeah, it's not about politics.
I
mean, not the coin. It's all I mean.
The Lunar Ox I bought, and I was talking to Zach about it the first night that we actually spoke with him. I showed him that.
Is that what I have? Ox?
That was I bought that for like $2 over spot, and I was telling my mom this yesterday. They're now $83 a round for one silver round, and I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, I got to figure out a way to like buy things right on pre-release because you do that, and it's just like bam, bam, bam.
Look,
You're
it's like
tripling your money almost.
It's like the Morgans, the newer Morgans, the Peace Dollars, the ASEs, the last of the one type or type one, and then the new type. Those ones, the people who jumped in, especially the ones that you're seeing now with the it was super limited edition. I was on God, who's a Can site or somebody, or no, CGI Tribe. I was on there watching them try to get these rounds, or not these rounds, they're rounds, coins, whatever. And there was so many, like, millions of people calling into the mint at the same time that it was like shutting down the system, and people were losing their mind over getting them, and I couldn't get it. I'm like, I wouldn't buy one right now if you paid me. Wouldn't happen. Now, however, I'm thinking that was a dumb mistake, because had you jumped in at the $100 and whatever level, that coin's going to be worth 400 in months. Not even.
Yeah.
It's already selling for that, so
Well,
it would have almost tripled your money easily.
I'm over here looking at these things, like even the auction that Legit had. I was looking at his after his contest, or however you want to word it, and I'm just like, dang, man, since he brought it up the first time, the price of that has gone up the last time I looked to another $6 for that one round. I'm like, dang, man, like I need to really put more away for these pre sales,
Well, and you can do it a couple of different ways too. Feel free anytime you want to do something like that, and you want to run, whether it be an auction or whether it be wheels, or something new that's been happening. Well, not new, it's been happening for a long time on a lot of channels. Those scratch off tickets. I'm not big into the scratch off tickets, but the idea of it is exactly the same as a $5 wheel or a $3 wheel, or you run it on however much the coin is worth, or whatever you're buying. It changes every time. But it's a way for any investor to make sure they get their money back, and yet a chance for however many. There's people that go in there and go close the card, and they just bought the whole card because they want to make sure they get that coin. It's almost like being in a bin or a regular auction. Whoever does it first, boom. I've seen them go that fast, and I've seen them go one person at a time. Some people say one spot only, so that everybody has a chance at $4 to own a Morgan, or to own a let's say the triangle coin, for instance. For that price one, you'd probably do like a $5 card, maybe a $6 card on a $10 spot. So for $6, you might end up owning one of those. That's a friggin' crazy deal, and you're not selling 25 spots on it, you're selling 10. So the chances of winning are 1 in 10. That's pretty good. And then if you have someone who buys 3, your chances just got better, and there's ways of doing a lot of those things that I think as a couple of channels, like you and I, other people, I'd love to have there's a lot of channels out there that run a community channel type thing where other people come on and do things, and you can sell your own items, and I love the idea of that. I just don't have the investment to be able to put down on a bunch of stuff and 10 ounces of gold or 10 ounces of silver in order to sell them, or in order to do whatever. I don't have that ability. But as far as the platform to do it on, and to have fun with a bunch of people doing it, and give people chances at stuff that's decent price and fun stuff, because you get all sorts of fun stuff. That's what I like. You always have something different, and that's what makes it fun, and that's how some of these channels really start off. But the one thing about all these channels is they also have eBay sales, they have website sales, so these people are having it in different ways. Some own the coin crew there. They have an LCS, they have their own shop, It's the same idea, and I think I'd love to be part of that. I think we should really think about in the time coming up. I hope that we can try to put something together to be able to offer the same thing other channels are doing, but maybe just something a little more relaxed. And I don't know, there's something about going to an auction where there's 100 people, 150 people. It's exciting, but I can't keep up with that.
Yeah, I can't be a part of that much excitement, I guess.
I like the calmness of doing things and chatting and having fun as you go, and not putting anything else. I'm not saying anything about any other channel, because they're great. I still go to many, many channels, but I kind of like what we do, and I'd love to do that. I'd love to make that happen more,
Well, and it's not like, again, like what you said, not putting anybody down. or anything like that. But I feel like even with, the 4 or 5 people we have chilling every once in a while, we get
Hey, Jeff.
like a good amount of information and just a good happy vibe. You know what I mean? There's no stress to it or anything like that. Hey Jeff, how's it going?
Yep, Jeff's another one. He has some great auctions, and does that as well. He has his crew's getting bigger because he's got some pretty good stars on there. He's got some big hitters that hang out there for sure. But I'm thinking, I don't mind starting small. You know what I mean? And I should say he did too. But have you watched my Silver Squad? I have watched the Silver Squad.
But I've never seen them.
Oh man, the Silver Squad is really amazing, man. But it's really fast paced for me. I feel like it's there's a lot of people there, but it's good. It's a great. You should check them out if you haven't. Yeah, the Silver Squad is awesome. Or my Silver Squad. I'm doing good. I'm back. You're back from church. Good, man. Nice. He's had that guy's busy, man. Jeff Crumpler is. When someone told him to hit it, he hit it hard and did it. he's on. I bet he's on 4 nights a week. I mean, he's got to be on his own at least 2 or 3, and then he goes on other people's channels and he's doing other auctions, with them. So, again, I watch it. I watch a lot of these guys, and it's I think I learn a little bit from all of them. And there's things that I really like about some, and things that are. It almost the people love it, obviously, because it's going, don't get me wrong. Hopefully, eventually, mentally, I can keep up with that. That would be great. But I bet it's got to be a strain for someone who's used to nice and mellow to go from that to bam, 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 bam. Trying to fit as many items in a night.
We're simple hill folk, Jeremy. It's not that. It's not.
I feel like that sometimes.
All right, man. Well, I actually do have to work tonight.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
That's all right. I got to bring Megan to do the Apple thing here soon, too. She's going to go on strike. She wouldn't look it. She fell asleep, but.
That's right.
She's not asleep. But. What's this say? Definitely have to stay committed to the community. Without community, there would be no. Right. Absolutely, man. Yeah, I agree. I love all the different channels. You know what I mean? The thing I like is I would like to find a slot somewhere that I know that every week I could go just do it. You know what I mean? And I wasn't stepping on a bunch of heels. And it seems like there's certain days, like Saturdays during the day, there's like nothing, nobody's on. I don't need 100 people in my thing. And who knows, we're going to do things, using a little, I think, of everybody, kind of like, I don't know. I think the pay dirt thing, though, is going to be fun for sure. And I think we should venture, into a few different things along the way. Congrats on the lamination era. Oh, yeah, that's an awesome era for sure.
From like up until about 9 a.m., I'm watching satellites and stuff, dude. And I just recently quit my second job. And I enjoyed a couple of days off, but I have an interview already for another full-time job because I fell off that wagon pretty fast. Yeah, I have a problem working a lot. I'd like to say it's a problem, but I'm pretty grateful. I'm in a place where there is so much work. I know a lot of people where I'm actually from, there's not a lot of work. So that's the main reason I moved out here. Like I was complaining to Jeremy one night about these crazy kooky questions for an application. And then I was telling my mom about them. She's like, Andrew, what are you getting yourself into? I'm like, Mom, I'm telling you, it's an assistant manager's position. Like there's literally... She's like, I don't want to do anything like that, Andrew. I'll just stay a cashier. And I'm like,
the questions were nuts, though.
They were next level. And I'm sitting here as I'm talking to you and bouncing back and forth. I'm like, is this another military position? And it's just like a cover for a dollar store manager, because holy crap, I haven't thought this much in a long time. Like, please compare the rates of insurance and the cost it would take for one male under the age of 45 and a female over the age of 55, and how much would their deductible be on the third month of every quarter, and all this just nonsense. And I'm like, dude, what? If crude oil was $1,500 a barrel and one company bought 100 more shares of stock, and this company, what would their profit be for the third quarter? Dude, I just want to stock some shelves. I want to take it easy. Like, let me. What? Yeah, it blew my mind. It really did. And then to actually have them call me back the next day, that definitely blew my mind, because I'm like, maybe I just busted this. This was just a bust. She's like, yeah, give me a call and we'll get you in for an interview. I'm like, that was during the live.
Yeah.
Like the next day, I'm like, wow. Well, I think that's it here. Like, a lot of places are closing around here, Donna. And like, I think what happened with a lot of them is you had, because I bought a bunch of inventory from this dude's pet store, and he was like talking about how, you know, the COVID really got to his business and everything, but the way he was talking about it was almost like he was looking for an out, and he was just done working, because he's like, yeah, we're gonna go down to Florida and we're gonna retire, and you know, this was just too much. And I'm like, you know, take it while you can, you know what I mean? Like, in my area, I honestly see a store go down every month, it seems like, since you know, last year. And I hope the best for them, you know, that you too, Zach, you have a great weekend. Stay safe and warm.
Have a good one, Zach.
That they're doing right by themselves and stuff. But then I also feel bad for like the businesses who just started up, and like,
yeah, we've lost some restaurants. I noticed like restaurants we had issues, but most of the places around here were lucky enough to be able to do stuff outdoors during the real rough times, and now with indoors they just have certain. We don't have a lot of regulations right now in New Hampshire, but I think a lot of people around here are just kind of careful. We live right in a college town, so she and I don't go out much to the restaurants right here. Not right now, while there's all the college kids up in here.
So Jeff, what they do with that, my brother was like, he was a teenager when that came through in New York, and that was the first place that it happened. And so what McDonald's will do is they'll schedule those kids, like, who are making, you know, $16, $17 an hour. They'll schedule them for 8 to 10 hours a week over 7 days. So, you know, he would go in for a 2-hour shift and be sent home, so they didn't really have to pay him.
Yeah.
And, you know, back to the, you know, the cost of McDonald's now, the CEOs, they just released that they were getting rid of the value menu, stating that people don't go to McDonald's for value menus. They go for meals. Now, I don't know about anybody else in this situation, but I didn't go to fast food for a meal. I went to fast food to spend $3 and fill my stomach before I went to bed. You know what I mean?
Sad part is we used to go to McDonald's and we'd have both kids in the car. We'd be traveling, you know, to Maine or whatever at the ocean. It was one of those like, oh, we just stop real quick. And we'd spend, God, I don't even know, $40 probably, 35. I don't even know, like $35, man, on if we did meals and stuff, because all the kids, everybody's big, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not like just pick up a Happy Meal. Well, they want Happy Meals, but then you got to buy the other things that go with it, because they're way more than that. So
yeah, no, I mean,
but that's how I was, you know, quick.
It's fast food is such a rip. And as I look at, because I'm one of the cheapest people you're ever going to meet. So when I look at things, like for Burger King for a while, they had that bacon cheeseburger for $1. The last time I went to Burger King was when I went up there, and I'm like, because I would, you know, working 24-hour shifts, no joke. You're just like going to slam a couple of $1 cheeseburgers in the fridge and heat them up when you have a chance. well, I pulled up and I'm like, yeah, let me get 3 bacon cheeseburgers and 2 chicken sandwiches. And she's like, you know that the bacon cheeseburger is $1.99 now, right? And I'm like, oh, I did not. And she's like, yeah, is that okay? I'm like, it is not. And I got 2 chicken sandwiches and I pulled right away. And I'm like, yep, this is the end of me going to Burger King. Because if you think your crappy bacon and your crappy meat is worth $2, I'm telling you, it's not worth my $2. You know.
Yeah. Jeff, you're right there. Donna, he says, Donna, this is why McDonald's meal costs almost 10. Yeah, I mean, that's like I said, we have 4 people in the car plus a burger for the dog. You know what I mean? And it's $40 probably. You know what I mean? It's not like it used to be. That's for sure. And I mean, I think that wages should be higher across the U.S. in general. Anyway, though, I feel like I was working. I started my jobs. God, when I started working at 14 years old, I think I was making $4 something an hour, 3 cents. I don't even remember what it was. It was $4 something an hour, I think. And then when I came down here, before I left up north and came down here, I was making 30 some odd an hour. And then I came down here and I got a job just because I needed one. I was taking care of my grandmother. I needed an extra job, and it was 8 something an hour. Well, the rents around here are, crazy. And it's like, how do you make $8 an hour? I made it work, but I had nothing extra. By the time I left that job, I was close to 20.
I disagree with you. I don't think wages need to be higher. I think expenses need to be lower. People need to stop being
however
so
they want to figure it out. I agree.
Like, my rent is, when I talk to my mom about rent out here, she'll be like, oh yeah, my rent went up $50. I'm like, oh yeah, well, what is it? And she'll say like, it's almost $700 a month. And I'm like, oh yeah, do you want to talk about my rent? Because it's a different situation. She's like, I forgot. Did yours go up too? And I'm like, yeah, only $25. She's like, well, that's good. I'm like, it's still double your rent, Mom. Yeah. Like, it's still double your rent. And, I think her rent is too much for, like, she doesn't have a bad apartment, but she only has an apartment.
Right.
And, I have a duplex, but out here, you look for a 3-bedroom house or a 3-bedroom apartment, you're going to be paying like $1,800 a month. That's no utilities. $1,900. But you have a basement, man.
I do have a basement, floody one, but I do have a basement.
But you see, like, it's like that's for just a one-story apartment in a complex. You're paying that out here, and it's like,
well, we have upstairs neighbors. Like we have this is a house basically split in half, and there's one entrance for upstairs, one entrance for downstairs, right? But like the basement is split with all of the people that live upstairs, which is a 3-bedroom apartment, and it's college kids, so there's 4 of them. Mm-hmm. And so there's 4 people living above us with 4 dogs, and then we have our apartment on this level. But even in order to get what we got for paying, I pay for the trash removal. So I bring the trash, everybody's trash. I do the lawns. like these are things I have to do. Like I have to take care of these things in order to make it so we can even afford to be here. But it's crazy. I don't know, man. It's a nice apartment on the inside, you know what I mean? I guess, but it's like it's not like what we're used to. We came from a house that was, old but beautiful, and right. And we paid about $1,200 a month for that, not including anything. And here it's like 18. So it's like, man, to go into an apartment where you're split in half, they're listening to you, you're listening to them. I mean, it's like we have one heat.
That's crazy.
Like one heat that controls the entire house. And so like I set the heat. Now it hasn't been on yet this year, but in our apartment it's getting cold. I'm like, I don't care about that so much, but I'm worried about them being over hot. And they said it's something they deal with all year long with that. That's something they're used to. I can't imagine that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
can't imagine living somewhere like that where it was even more expensive than here. I just want to get onto the land and put a house so that it'll cost me half as much with a mortgage. I mean, that's how I feel about it. Well, literally a mortgage for a 3-bedroom house would be as long as I didn't go nuts. We're talking like either modular or something, or built it. I just couldn't do the building of it all myself, but it's not at this point. But we're talking a mortgage for that would be less than what I pay for rent, and it would be mine. It's friggin' gated property out there. It's I mean,
right. Well, that's the trap too. Is like people, I talked to my mom and she's like, well, where would you want to live? And I'm like, well, I'm telling you where I'd want to live is like a place, huh? Yeah, I would, dude. I would while saving up money to build something better, because you can.
Let's create a compound.
Hey, man, listen. I was talking to my mom a couple years ago. She's like, Andrew, I had a dream. I'm like, where is this going? She's like, I had a dream where I had this big yurk, and there were 3 yurks around it. And it was you and your family and your 2 brothers and their families. And we were all just living in yurks. And I'm like, what is a yurk, Mom?
Holy crap. Hold on. While you're saying that, this is so funny that you're saying that. Have you ever watched our video of I think it was called Relaxing Sunday Afternoon? Where we go out onto this property, we're looking for a place we already had our dirt in a bucket. We just wanted to run our sluice. And we're driving down the road. We were about to use this property, but it was state property, and there was a bunch of people out there, and he says, listen, the lady that owns all of this part by the river is walking down the street. If you go talk to her, I'm sure she'll let you use it. So I drive down the road. I see this woman. She's got to be 80 some odd years old. I don't know, 80 years old, something. And I pull up. I said, hi, my name's, Jeremy Partridge, blah, blah, blah. Start explaining what we're doing. Oh, sure. No problem. She says, I'll meet you back over this way.
I did watch that one, yo.
Okay, so I turn around, I go up, and she's gone. She's like missing. Where is she? So I drive up the street. This woman like jogged or something up there. She lets us onto the property, and there was like 3 of those like wooden yurts, though. They're like wooden, and you could actually plug generator in so that you could have power if you wanted.
Yeah.
It used to be an old school, like kind of a hippie school. And so there were 3 of those, and then a big log cabin. God, it was gorgeous, man. That, to me, if I could own that, I would be about as excited. I can't even tell you.
I had a friend back in high school. They bought a it was originally built to be a camp for like terminally ill kids. So it had like all these different cottages and all like it had a pool, and it had like just awesome. It was just an awesome place. I mean, it had this really awkward vibe to it. I'm not going to say like this or that, but it was rough sleeping there. But
I can imagine.
And it had a history. But all right, take it easy, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff, talk to you later, man. Good seeing you. Thank you for coming. You have a visit with the Philippines.
Find a place like that.
Say hi to Miss Cynthia for us. Or I'm not sure who you're visiting today, but
that's right, Jeff.
Absolutely.
Got to do it to get it. Well, Hey man, I'm gonna sign off, and I don't know, maybe we can get on maybe tomorrow or the day after and do something awesome with people.
Okay. Yeah.
I think, based off Donna's excitement, I think I got to figure out this no dirt, pay dirt thing for her. I don't know about you.
Well, as far as the coins with the coins and stuff? Yeah. And as far as that goes, we can do this a couple of ways. I can do whatever from my side, and then you can just ship it from your place.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If it makes it any easier, instead of shipping things back and forth and doing whatever, you can be on my channel literally the way I'm on yours, and we can do exactly what we're doing now, except everything as far as what's happening is through mine. So therefore it's through New Hampshire. It's not, it might give a way to do it. Now I can do it either way. I'll do it however you want to do it, but No,
I mean, I just, me, I'm just not about breaking laws.
No, I definitely don't want you to do that.
Hey,
no, you know what I'm saying? I think
IRS here. We figured out you made $20 off YouTube, and now you got it. What are you doing? Like,
They are getting there. They are, they're getting down on people that, about with taxes and things and stuff like that with YouTube and people who spend more than a certain amount and stuff. I know I'm anywhere near I have to I don't have to worry about that necessarily. But as far as people who are running a business, yeah, you'd have to, I'm sure there's other parts of that and there's legalities you'd have to cover and make sure you're, everything's covered for you, but as far as you already go through that anyway with having the website and all that. So
yeah,
my guess is it's already in place. It's a matter of adding what you need to, as far as if you make it past a certain point. We'd have to look further into that. So what
Casey,
was all of your finds?
There was really nothing with the nickels. It's just everything 1990 and before. There's a few 76s and stuff like that, but nothing that's really silver. And with all these pennies, I took your word for it and took everything that was 82 and prior and put them there. Zach pointed out one of the pennies. What was he saying about it?
It had a lamination, error.
This 2009 has this weird lamination thing going on. So I want to look into that a little bit more. But I think this is probably the best find. Definitely no silver. Definitely, like, of the 3 rolls of dimes, it was maybe 7 less than all being 2019. Yeah, so I'm going to look up this error a little bit more and see what's up with that. There were a few that just had some interesting, like this one has a really deep, it's a 1975 and it's got a really deep rim for some reason. So I wanted to look that up a little bit. But I mean, no wheat pennies this time. But thanks to you in pointing out everything pre-1982, that's why there's this huge pile here. So we'll be digging deep on that.
I love that about I think that's the best part of having people watching and stuff is the information and the knowledge that you gain from it, because once you hear it or see it once or twice, you're going to remember it,
For sure.
So, yeah, I love that part of it.
So thank you, Casey. Thank you. To a couple people, I'm going to be sending out some emails, and to everybody who's here, thank you very, very much. Yeah, thanks, you guys.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It was good seeing everybody that came. That's really awesome. And I think people are going to be more interested really soon in I think we'll be doing things on a faster pace as far as like you've got things set up. It's taken a while to get things set up, but I think this November thing is really going to knock people's socks off, to be honest.
See, I told you, I'm not going to say anybody is a member or anything, but I have this one member who tells me all about how much they love the Queen of England. So all of those, like that, those 4 maple leaves, they were definitely bought for that member, and like inspired by that individual. Casey, I honestly thought it was only wheat pennies that were more copper value. So you're saying everything 1982 past has more copper?
Because it's all copper.
I did not know that. I thought it was just wheat pennies.
If you were to, like, the melt value of a pre-82 penny right now is at least 2 cents. I thought it was 3, but it's 2 cents. It must be the price of copper, whatever it's going for right now. That's why people are always looking at the don't melt the copper because blah blah blah, because right now it's worth so much more than the actual penny is itself for what they use. The zinc ones, okay, they're still worth more than the penny, I think, but not like the pure copper. The pure copper right now is going for such a high rate that the pennies are worth less as a penny than they are as melt value.
That's crazy. Well, and I was reading something about how the price of silver by 2022, they're projecting like $35 to $40 an ounce. That's freaking insane.
It's been fluctuating. I mean, if you notice it now, it's on a little bit of a low right now, but it's gone up. I mean, I remember, God, it wasn't even a couple of months ago. It was up to 28. 28 and change. And that was literally a month and a half, 2 months ago. So, and if you look at 2016, it was at like 15, and so it is steadily going up. It may have a little ups and downs, but it is steadily going up. I mean, those little ups and downs are great chances for people to buy silver when they can, because as it hits those little lows, it's probably not going to get too much lower than that. And
that's
then,
what I'm looking at. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it honestly, everybody should hold on to their silver, because if that one, it was one report I was reading, I can't remember who put it out, but my jaw dropped when it came to $40 an ounce of silver. I'm just like, I'm not putting any more money in gold, because I mean, gold's going up.
As silver goes up, you're going to find gold going up too, I think. So I think, we're at like 1,800, 1,700, 1,800. I think it's around 1,800 an ounce for gold. And any premium gold that you have, gold coins, gold, whatever, you're looking at 2,000 probably, at least. But if you look at that too, that went up into 2,100, 2,200 even in the last less than 6 months. So, I mean, that's going to go up too. All metal values are going to probably go up. It's just a matter of, because, anything can happen, politically and all these other things. But fact of the matter is, the metals are going to get harder to find, and the values of them are going to become more. And especially like a lot of these, and I'm really starting to like it. I just haven't started a huge collection or anything yet, but of the Constitutional. That's another one. That's a huge one that's starting to boom. People are getting really good money for coins that you weren't able to, you could pick them up for way cheaper before, whether it be Morgans. I mean, you hardly see Morgans going for under $30 now. It wasn't that long ago you could pick them up for $15, and that was for a decent Morgan. Like now for a $30 Morgan, you're looking at one that's been, in someone's pocket for a while.
That's crazy.
Quarters. I mean, all those.
Reg, let me just mail you a bunch of gold, and you mail me the difference then, because I'm pretty sure the last ounce I bought was like $600 less than what you're talking about, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy. See, these are my days that I'll be remembering here, Gary. Like you guys are like, I remember those days when this was that and this was that. I'm like, yeah, I started in the days when people are talking about 2,200 for an ounce of gold.
Yeah,
what's going to come when, 10, 15 years down the road, what a horrible hobby to just start getting into,
Yeah. I think you start seeing too, like in the pourers. I notice in the pourers, I love watching different metal pourers, and the ones in Canada charge a lot more. Now I know part of that shipping and stuff, but if you're getting gold at 2,200, I'm guessing your silver is probably higher than ours, and so is probably copper and all that. So it makes sense why some of these guys pouring are pouring it at a higher premium for it. Like hearing it at that price, now I see why they're getting such a premium for their stuff. Just going to keep jumping.
Yeah, the prices of everything is just going to keep going up.
It's just, I think it's going to be I don't know about gradual, but it's going to be kind of like but it's always kind of going up, I feel like, at this point. I mean, my father was saying, I'm trying to remember how many years ago, he said, when I was telling him about gold hitting 2,000, he thought I said 200. He's like, yeah, I remember when it hit 200. And I was like, no, not 200, 2,000. And he just was like, couldn't believe it. My guess is he got rid of gold coins at one point and did not get rid of it for that amount. I hope not. I hope those suckers are coming back to me someday. But prices are higher up here. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was guessing. It makes sense then. Not that I questioned anything, but that would make sense. But yeah, you guys keep your eyes open, because we're gonna have some stuff going on, Nigel and I, or Nigel Sky and I, and he's got some crazy stuff going on this November. If anybody's just walking in, check out his crazy November thing. Rewatch the video from the beginning or something. But crazy stuff going on soon. And so if you guys aren't a member, better get to be one. And even that, your membership, you know what I mean? We were talking about that with somebody the other day, and you know, it's not the cheapest membership out there, but then at the same time, you look at the perks that you get across the board, and it's like you're guaranteed to have a good time. You're guaranteed to have, you know, perks across the whole entire board of it. So I don't know. That's and then you have these special events like you're doing is pretty, dare I say, crazy. I mean, it's nuts. I can't even imagine doing what you're doing in November. That's going to be amazing, just nuts.
Well, and it's all right there too. You know, it's not like, oh, I have to wait for this to come to me. The only thing, I lost a bunch of bill holders. I lost like all my bill holders, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, dude, how do you do that? Yeah, take it easy, Gary. So I ordered more bill holders for people who win those, but dang, man, I was so upset. I'm like, they're right here somewhere. Just clean your house, man. Clean your house.
Yeah, the good thing is because you're into this, you'll find them eventually and still use them.
Yeah, I will. But you know, the bad thing is buying 10 of them. It was like the same price. It was double the amount of buying like the 30 that I bought when I bought them. You know, the price of those have skyrocketed too. It's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
As soon as I find something I slightly enjoy, everybody ruins it for me. At least I got my cat.
That's awesome. We'll have to because you collect so many cool little things like that, you know, like different bills, different ones like that. If there's ever, like I said, something you want to do where you think people might be interested just because you've heard it out there or whatever, you should let me know when it comes to that too, because I see different auctions and things going on that have all different things in them, man. Like I don't even look at currency yet. Like these are things that I can't even get into yet. Like if I see something from like the 1800s or whatever, sure, I like that. But as far as like anything in the last 100 years, really, I'm just like, I just haven't gotten there yet, you know?
Right.
And but if there's ever stuff like that you look at and you're like, oh yeah, this right here would spark people's interest for whatever, put it aside or whatever and let me know, you know, because we can figure out a way to advertise it and do like kind of a fun thing on a night that you don't work or whatever and make it kind of like this and do it so there can be some, I don't know, a lot of fun.
I don't know. I think I'm just gonna try to focus my customer base in Ontario and just be like, hey, hey, Reg, you know, let's figure out how to get this over the border.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
hey,
crap.
Happy birthday, Reg. It was his birthday last week.
How'd you do, man?
And you went looking for gold.
As soon as we hear how many mortgage payments Reg pulled out of the ground, I'm hitting the hay.
That'd be awesome.
How want it, dude?
What's that?
Want it though, just to pull that much money?
Well, you know, you look at people like who's somebody that puts out Z-Rich. He's got some crazy nuggets out there. He's another one that does that, and he gets it out of, you know, right out of a mine, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you find a vein, you start getting into that stuff, and it's, you know, you're pulling chunks out that are however many grams and, you know, bigger chunks. And to me, that's kind of neat to think about. Just the idea of, I get it from the river and it's small, you know, but the idea of being able to yank out hunks at any one time just gets me excited. He said he had a great trip, posted pics of the higher grade ore. Okay. That's something that I haven't gotten into much on ore, but I want to, because that's I don't know. I know they were doing something on the land. I'd like to think it was that. But that's something Nigel's guy does though, as far as you get into the ore and stuff.
Yeah, but mine's Colorado it's got such low grade ore and everything. I always talk everybody out of buying my ore.
Yeah, okay. So he's still testing yet and crushing samples. Yeah, Nigel's guy, I don't know if you've seen it. Have you put a video out yet on your?
No, I haven't even got, I haven't had time to even put gas in that rock crusher, my dude.
He's got
like
a,
I got a gas can.
powered.
It was like we're one step closer.
Yeah. It's load gold in my area. Fine flower gold. Yep. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'd love to think that's what, I'd find someday out on ours. I don't know what I'm gonna find. To me, that's like all the whole part of the mystery, but I don't know. I should have spent more time out there this year, that's for sure. But so anyway, you're crashing, you're doing what, you working tonight, you said?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So I'll be bugging you like what, midnight your time?
There we go. I'm sure I'll be around. Yep. We're gonna, as long as I don't, have like a pass out coma thing after eating all sorts of apples and
Oh, brag about
donuts.
your cider day, my dude. Brag about it.
Cider donuts, and hey, I could send cider your way. That wouldn't go bad in the mail either. I'm telling you, I'm putting together a list here.
You make sure you let me know how much I can send you on PayPal for all this, okay? I ain't begging for your cheese and your cider. I'm just saying.
Cheese, we definitely are putting in there. Cheese, cider, and the pumpkin cheesecake, and then what was it? Oh, and then I pulled aside some smoked pulled pork I have in there. That's in the freezer ready for you. So I'm going to figure out, someone was telling me I can put it in a box that's made for shipping. It has insulation. And so as long as I pack it with stuff and put everything frozen with the stuff, you'll be good to go. So I'm definitely going to do it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do it. The only thing I won't freeze is the cheese, but it'll just stay cold in there, Cheese doesn't need to even be cold after I smoke it. So it's I just prefer to send it in the fall when it's cooler outside. If it's going to sit in the truck overnight somewhere, I want it to be not 95 degrees if I can help it.
Well, I don't really understand how your birthday present. Do you not have an Amazon center in New Hampshire? How is that? How is Bezos?
I don't know if they built it. They were talking about one in a town about an hour from here, but I don't think they have one here.
Dang, man. It just blew my mind that, it was coming from Florida. I'm like, not even New York? Like, what is this?
Yeah, New York must have one, you would think. But, again, you can only have so much inventory. So maybe one specializes in one thing and one specializes in another. What's Florida specialize in?
I have no idea.
Megan says oranges.
Drugs and oranges, yeah.
Yeah, Megan says oranges.
Tell her that's also the state where people are still doing bath salts and eating each other's faces,
I was trying to get a hint for my birthday present, and Megan just killed it. She gave him an answer.
I mean,
here, I thought I was being all slick. Thought I was being all slick too.
No. You talk to me about Florida, you're gonna just get bath salts comments.
Yeah, I know.
What's the toilet of the United States? Florida. Right. Where's everything go to die? Florida.
They have good shark's teeth in Florida, though. Did you ever get shark's teeth from BK?
I don't think from him, but I got some in a pay dirt bag, and Caitlin ended up because the pay dirt bag that Caitlin won.
Okay.
She got them. So yeah, she's got the shark's teeth. I have a couple of pretty awesome pieces of coral and stuff I'll have to show off to you that I found in a storage unit though.
Okay.
Like easily $100 worth of coral.
Wow.
Yeah, it was insane. Cool. Yeah,
I thought about putting stuff like cool things in my pay dirt like that. And the one thing I thought of, thank goodness, before I did it, I was going to put seashells in. And then I thought about it and I'm like, where's the gold going to go if that thing turns? You could have gold pieces going into the seashell and getting caught up in that and never come out. And I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. You know what I did think of doing though? You know how you have acorns and you got the little, what they call whirly birds or whatever. I call them helicopters, but whatever. The things that come off the trees. You got all these different types of seeds basically that fall off the trees around here, right? And I thought it would be fun to do a pay dirt bag that when you sent the pay dirt bag, it comes with like a acorn, so you can literally plant that kind of tree. You might live in an area where that kind of tree there is none. Dude,
that actually would be a pretty good idea.
Isn't that neat? We were sitting there at the park the other day, and I was looking at about 40,000 acorns on the ground, and I thought, like, we were just walking in, it was crunching because you're just stepping on them, and I'm thinking, it would not be that hard to grab a baggie full of the really good ones, you know, make sure they're completely not, and all my pay dirt's completely dry, so I don't have to worry about it sprouting or anything in there. And we could do that and a couple other plants and see if somebody takes that and puts it in water. I mean, theoretically, they could grow a tree. Do a silver shot and fossil bag. I definitely do silver shot on almost all of them. Either silver shot or we do like we've done a couple of little gram or two of silver something if we didn't have shot when we do the bags. But I almost always put silver shot. Our last, however many have had, gosh, I'm trying to remember now how much it was. It was like a gram, half gram, or a gram of. Actually, no, I think they average between a gram and 2 grams, actually, now that I think about it, because I used to put the 2 little pieces in there. It just depends. But it kind of depends on if we're doing a heavy bag, like something that like is the bonus bag, then we would put more in it, obviously. If it's one that's just somebody just, you know, if it's the lower one, I'm going to put silver in it still, but it's going to be probably a lower amount. Through a few, I did do that, Reg, on our when we did the giveaway on our gosh, I forget however many subs it was, 400, I guess, but it was in August, end of July or August. When we did the live on that, we gave away a bag of pay dirt that had, oh my gosh, I'd have to go back and look. It had at least 4 or 5 silver coins. It had and what was it? 5 half ounce. That's what it was. It was a half ounce of silver shot. It was 3/4 of a gram plus. I want to say it was 8 point something or 0.8 something in gold. And gosh, there was something else. It was shark's tooth. There was that thing was loaded. Like I said earlier, it was like an explosion. Amanda C won that big bag, and she ended up she's pulled out all the big stuff, but she said she's waiting to pan the small stuff. But definitely, we're going to figure out ways of doing fun. I'm going to call them explosion bags because there's so much fun with mixing different things in. It's just not something I can do a lot of because I don't have that many coins and things like that to be adding to it. I did that out of my own little amount that I have, and it was a lot of fun. But we may be doing one of those we just hit 500, so maybe we'll do a good pay dirt bag for that one, but I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure what's going to happen. We're going to have a couple of different things going on. I think we're going to run the wheel or run some kind of thing on Nigel's. Nigel and I were doing the collaboration there. I think we're going to run something that night on that and see so people can get a chance to get our pay dirt, but it'll be mixed with New Hampshire gold and his gold. So it'll be a fun. Whatever's in the dirt for gold is going to stay there, and then Nigel's been awesome enough to put gold forward to make sure it's guaranteed amounts.
I actually have a bunch of seashells, so I might steal your idea with that, Reg, and just do a silver and shell bag.
That would be fun.
That's actually a really cool idea. No gold at all, just silver and shells. So I have a bunch of seashells. I have no idea what to do with them, you know.
While avoiding losing gold. That's a good idea, Reg, actually. Yeah. I see where you were going with that. That's actually a really good idea. Yeah, for me, I was worried about the specs. Because we have such small gold. I thought, oh my God, what happens if someone doesn't realize or knows to look in there or whatever? They were little shells. They were tiny, but they were the little snail type shells from the ocean. You know, they're not snails, the little crab shells or whatever, but they were tiny. And I thought, I don't know. But yeah, with silver shot especially, and I want to start pouring soon, like just even if it's making my own silver shot. I've collected a few little, ounces of silver here and there that aren't that great, and I have no problem melting it. And so I'd like to create that, and I'd like to try. The last stuff I got was almost like cornflakes. I'd like to attempt to make that myself too, because that was really fun to pick up and look at too, Flour gold can be a pain. Yeah, it can, especially on that bag. I feel bad for Amanda. No wonder she's waiting. That one was loaded about half full of pure black sands. I mean, it was, and then the other half was crushed garnet sand. It was a ridiculous bag. It's not going to be for the faint. She'll probably pan that a few times, I'm guessing.
All right, you guys. I have to tap out, and
all right, man.
I will bug you soon. Reg, make sure you let me know when that package comes. But yeah, everybody stay safe, stay happy. Casey's been on this whole time. Casey, you made it, dude. You see what you've been missing out? A whole bunch of nothingness, right?
He's been what do they call that in the background there? Lurking in the background.
Yeah, but he's been adding. I think he said goodbye like 4 times.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. We've said goodbye like a few times, so you're right. He's been there every time to say that. Panning the black. Right. I love it too, Reg, for sure. That's like that. Once you can do it through the black sands and garnets, you can pin anything. Have a great night or day, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for coming over here to Nigel's Guy, and as always, man, it's always a great time hanging out with you. Can't wait till the next time.
Thank you, Zach. I actually thought you were gone too. What goes on? Is this live like a pit for people to say goodbye 50 million times? And then... All right. I'll bug everybody here soon. Thanks and stay safe, everybody.